Welcome to Make It a Habit from wherever it is that you're watching. I'm Sr Agnes Clare, a Franciscan nun with the Ecumenical Order of St Francis, and I'd like to share with you some things that I make a habit. My hope is that you will make some or maybe even all of these things your habit too. So let's take a few minutes and shut the door on the world. Oh yes, that's better. It's winter in Australia. People are rugged up, scurrying here and there, looking down. Always looking down. No doubt the reason is that they don't want to slip and injure either their bodies or their pride. The aim is simply to get to the nearest source of warmth. But if we can slow down for just a minute, indeed, if we can stop for a moment and look up, we will discover that winter has its own wonders. Male birds perform intricate dances to impress a nearby female. The tiny house sparrow ferries each individual strand of grass, patiently building what to it must seem a majestic castle. We will find that wonderful things happen in the depths of winter. The miracle of the winter roses is one such occurrence. The story takes us back to 13th century Italy and to two of Christianity's most beloved saints, Francis and Clare of Assisi. Bound together by a deep friendship in Christ and a shared desire to follow the gospel with simplicity and devotion, they inspired one another to live lives of extraordinary holiness. Clare had left behind the comfort and privilege of her noble family to embrace a life of poverty, prayer and service. Under the guidance of Francis, she established a community of women at San Damiano, where they sought to live entirely in trust of God's providence. One winter's day, Clare expressed a simple wish. She longed to send Francis a bouquet of fresh flowers as a token of her affection and gratitude. Yet it was the middle of winter. The fields were bare, the gardens dormant, and roses were nowhere to be found. What happened next has been treasured in Franciscan tradition ever since. Francis encouraged Clare not to dwell on what seemed impossible, but to place her trust in God. Together they turned their hearts to prayer. Then, in the midst of the cold season, when frost covered the earth and all signs of spring appeared absent, roses burst into bloom. Not only did they bloom, but tradition tells us that they blossomed in abundance, their beauty untouched by the harshness of winter. Clare gathered the roses and gave them to Francis, her gift now transformed by divine grace. The miracle has endured through the centuries because it speaks to something deeper than the appearance of flowers in an unlikely season. The winter roses remind us that God is always at work, even when life appears barren and unfruitful. Just as the hidden life of a rose bush continues beneath the frozen earth, so too does grace continue its work within the human soul. Francis and Clare understood that every life passes through winters. There are seasons when hope seems distant, when prayer feels dry, when joy appears to have withered away. Yet the miracle of the winter roses assures us that God's love is not limited by the seasons we experience. Divine grace can blossom at the most unexpected times and in the most unlikely places. The roses of winter are a reminder that what appears impossible to us remains possible to God. They invite us to look beyond appearances, to trust in the hidden work of grace, and to believe that beneath every winter lies the promise of spring. And perhaps that is why this story still speaks to us today. Like those Australians hurrying through the cold with their eyes fixed on the ground, we can become so focused on simply getting through the season that we miss the wonders unfolding around us. Sometimes all it takes is a moment to stop, to look up, and to discover that God is already causing roses to bloom in the winter of our lives. The miracle of the winter roses reminds us that even in the coldest and darkest seasons, life is quietly preparing for renewal. Beneath the frost, grace is at work. Beneath the silence, new life is stirring. I love to watch nature preparing for the harshest weather and patiently waiting for the emergence of spring, when countless creatures will begin their own life journeys. There is something deeply reassuring in witnessing that rhythm of preparation, patience, and hope. In fact, I try to sit quietly and observe these small miracles for just a few minutes each day. Whether it is a bird building a nest, a tree standing patiently through winter, or simply the beauty of a cold morning sky, I make time to notice. That's right, I make it a habit. And perhaps this winter, you might make it a habit too. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification button to get alerts when new content is available. Until next time we meet, take care of yourselves and God bless.